All right, guys, let's have some fun. So today's kind of essential question is, why do we really play guitar? Welcome to Mr. Elmore's Music Lab, the podcast. I'm Mr. E, and I don't have any sponsors. I'm sponsoring myself. You guys are sponsoring this podcast by being here listening. Love you all. So we're going to kind of run through some frameworks, some ideas I thought about. But again, this is very personal to you. Only you can be the teller of your story as to why you play guitar. So if anything resonates with you, comment over to that device and drop a comment. The more interactivity, the interaction we can get, the better. But you got to do your dishes, your laundry, walk the dog, do your chores. I know life's busy, right? But just mostly have fun listening to this. You know, I've been kind of shocked. So many people are watching podcasts on TV now. I know I am. So just lay on the couch, chill, listen, come back, comment later. All right, so if nobody ever heard you play the guitar, no audience, there was no YouTube, no social media platforms, no look at me's, no applause, no compliments, would you still pick up the guitar? Definitely answer that in the comments if you can. I think most of us would, okay, because I think that tells us something important. There must be a reason, there's got to be, or reasons we play that goes much deeper than just recognition, achievement, or being impressive. And actually, you shouldn't do it for any of those reasons, right? We'll get into that in a little bit more. So today I want to talk about the simple question that may not have a simple answer, or answers is like what I said. Why do we play the guitar? And that answer probably changes over your lifetime. So let's go ahead and let's kind of dive into some of these ideas, these frameworks, these points. We'll spitball. If I get too far off in the weeds, it's what happens in podcasts. That's why they're called podcasts. They're fun. Why did we start? So here's maybe some surface level reasons. And I know I fit in here that many surface level reasons that many people pick up a guitar. We heard a particular musician or song. Definitely applies to me. Check off the boxes here if this resonates with you. We wanted to be in a band. That was actually my number one reason. We thought the guitar looked cool. They do look pretty darn cool. There's just a coolness factor that comes with it. We wanted to impress someone. That usually comes from a younger self. We haven't really grown up yet. You know, look at me. But whatever, maybe you want to impress yourself. A guitar happened to be sitting around your house, a relative's house, a friend's house. You were always intrigued by it. Like I said, or this, a parent, a sibling, a friend played. You know, you gotta be exposed to it sooner or later. You know, we simply loved the sound. Maybe you were just fascinated with the sounds it made and you wanted to figure out what made those sounds. So here's some personal story opportunities for you to drop in the comments if you so wish. Who first made you want to play? In my case, it was Dave Navarro of Jane's Addiction, but I love like John Frusciante, and I love Billy Corgan and Kurt Cobain, and what did you imagine guitar playing would feel like? What did you actually, I don't know if we give much thought to that. What did actually, before we played, did we wonder what it would actually make us feel like? Did you picture yourself on stage, writing songs, playing with friends, or simply being able to play your favorite riff maybe? Most of us probably started because someone else inspired us, and that's really what happened with me. I can actually remember the day, I've shared this story before, I was at a party when people used to go to parties. Remember those things? Parties where people used to go and hang out and talk? Sorry, I'm being a little cynical there. We wanted to create that feeling that the music created in us. So I was listening to band play, Had a Dad by Jane's Addiction, but the guitar player looked like the happiest human being I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, I want to do that. So having a mom that was a music teacher, boom, she got me lessons. You know, I didn't start very late in life, but my whole mission was that kind of second bullet point here. I wanted to be in a band, but would love for you to share your reason. Why did you start? I wish I could have started younger. I did, started playing piano. My mom taught me piano. Hated it, have come back to it, but whatever, we all have a path, right? So you just kind of accept that and roll with it. And then the more you fall in love with the instrument, the more you're going to show up and put in the reps to get better and better at the craft of making music or playing guitar. But the reason we start is not always the reason we continue. So here's another idea. Guitar gives us a voice. So let's talk about how music communicates things that ordinary speech cannot. You can communicate sadness without explaining why you were sad on a guitar. Good old Aeolian scale or minor chords. You can create tension, joy, anger, peace, excitement, or nostalgia on an instrument. One note played with intention can say more than dozens of played mechanically. That's your musicality summed up in a nutshell right there. your touch, rhythm, phrasing, your dynamics, and space start to become part of your voice. And in this case, your voice is your sound. That's your sonic signature. This is kind of, you've heard me talk about this before, and if you've never been on this channel, I'm going to talk about my personal 3 levels, my idea, beginner level, developing level, musical player level. You want to get to musical player level. It's all about making music, right? So your musicality, your highest level of your musical self. So becoming a musical guitar player isn't merely about learning more material. Remember, it's about connecting, not collecting. It's becoming better at expressing something through the material you already know. Again, there's that key word in my mind, musicality, right? So rhythm gives the music life, right? And these are all part of like my personal teaching philosophies. And again, I always say rhythm is king now and forever. I talk about triads till I'm blue in the face. Those give us the connection and the movement. They glue everything together, and then we can get really musical. So our dynamics create emotion, space. We got to learn how to use space. Space allows the music to breathe. And your technique should serve the expression. I only had one goal, and even learned this from a young age when I ended up my band. And good thing we were on the same page. It was for the good of the song. It was never for the good of our ego. Again, if I could write 100 amazing songs that moved someone emotionally and there wasn't one look at me guitar solo in there, I don't care. I can solo till, I spin a hole in the floor and fall through, but for me, it's all about serving the music, serving the art, right? So the goal isn't just to learn how to operate a guitar. The goal is to eventually say something with it. So again, those are those 3 levels: beginning, developing, musical player. In the beginning, you're learning all your chords, you're learning all the guitar 101 stuff. And unfortunately, it makes me sad because we're talking about what makes us actually play the guitar, want to play the guitar, that the most people quit in the first year. It's because they never get to move into that developing player level. It gets stale and it gets boring for them. But anyways, let's move on to another idea. Guitar gives us somewhere to go, right? So we're going to kind of explore the emotional side of playing. So it gives us a place to focus, right? It can quiet the noise of daily life. The world's crazy right now. We have so much digital overwhelm in our life right now. And I know I'm not contributing to that in the best way because I'm here on a digital platform called YouTube talking to you. But again, we are thinking together, right? So again, I always tell people too, if you could just come home and play the guitar in your bedroom by yourself for 5 minutes just to decompress from the stresses of life, it's worth it. You should do it just for that reason alone. It can help us process difficult emotions. Hello, sad chords. Maybe it's a happy chord for you. I don't know. It can create a little world where time disappears. You ever sit down with your guitar and you start playing and then an hour's gone by and it feels like 30 seconds? That's amazing. That's where you're in the zone, man. But no, seriously, that's what makes it so amazing. We can return to it during good seasons and bad ones. It's always there for us. The guitar will always be there. You got to show up for the guitar and for yourself. Guitar doesn't necessarily remove our problems, but sometimes it gives us a healthier place to carry them, right? So I think it's just a great outlet. It makes you so smart. Music makes you so smart. It's a language. It's a technical skill. It's a form of expression. It's everything wrapped into one beautiful ball of creation. So you can talk about times when simply picking up the instrument made the day feel better. When was the last time that happened to you? Even if nothing remarkable was played, you probably felt better just picking it up. Even if you had a horrible day, the guitar is going to make you feel better. So sometimes we don't play guitar because we have something to perform. We play because we need somewhere to be. Maybe that's just to take us out of the moment of that day. Maybe it's a positive thing. Maybe it's not a positive thing. But at the end of the day, it's going to take us somewhere. All right. This one's probably my favorite, is the guitar challenges us. Now, I don't know about you, but if you had a YouTube channel, one thing you notice is how many people come to your video and they drop off, right? Now, that's because obviously people have no attention spans. But a lot of times, too, it's because people don't have a work ethic. They don't show up. They don't want to put in the reps. They don't want to put in the time. They want the shortcut. But guitar refuses to give us immediate mastery. That is a beautiful thing. You probably love that challenge. Even when you don't think you do, because Isn't it a beautiful thing that in order to make musical level, player level on a guitar, you actually have to like earn it? Like you have to like really put in thousands of hours. And I'm always going to shoot straight with you guys. There is no shortcuts to guitar. Okay, maybe I cheat sometimes and I say things in my titles like da-da-da in 10 minutes. But you guys know how that is. This is the YouTube game. But I'm always going to tell you the truth in the video that it takes time. Every level reveals another level, right? Progress requires patience, repetition, listening, and humility. In fact, my very first podcast on here was 5 Brutal Truths of Guitar. Still my most viewed podcast, but it's just talking about you better embrace the pain, right? You have to feel that pain. We can call the pain failure. I don't really ever want to think there's really no failure on guitar except quitting, right? So as long as you're playing and embracing the pain and how hard it is, that's a beautiful thing. So the instrument teaches us how to stay with something, right? We have to stay with it. Small breakthroughs feel meaningful because they were earned, and that's a beautiful thing. You feel amazing when you put in the reps and you put in the work and you actually earn something. You get that payoff, right? That's why this society of ours where everyone wants instant, that just doesn't work. There's no deep meaning to that. It's just like a quick hit of adrenaline and then it's over. So guitar taking a long time is frustrating, yes, but that may also be one of its greatest gifts, and I really think it is. If it were mastered in a weekend, it probably wouldn't remain meaningful for a lifetime. That's the beauty. You will never know it all, ever. You will never know it all. It is an infinite world of learning, and that's a beautiful thing. That's what makes me keep coming back. We don't only play because guitar feels good. Sometimes we play because struggling with something meaningful feels good. So let's talk about how guitar teaches us. It teaches us patience, persistence, attention to detail, comfort with imperfection, the ability to begin again. Those are just a few ideas, right? But it really teaches us humility too, right? And it teaches us not to worry about failing, because as long as you're putting in the reps and feeling the pain, you're not failing. Again, the only way to fail at a guitar is to quit. Makes me sad that so many people do, because they will never get to feel what it feels like to get to a certain level. I want that for everybody. I want everyone to feel that musical player level, because nothing in the world is better than it. And then once you get a taste of it, you keep pushing yourself to be the best version of yourself. Here's another idea. Guitar helps build an identity, right? So exploring the way the instrument becomes part of who we are, right? We stop saying, I'm trying to learn guitar, right? And we start eventually saying, I'm a guitar player, right? And I remember back a while ago, people saying they didn't want to call themselves a guitar player. No, if you are holding the guitar, I don't care if it's your first day and you're putting in the reps and you are trying and you're not going to quit, you are a guitar player, all right? You are a guitar player who is at that certain part of your journey. That's your path, but you are a guitar player. So always call yourself a guitar player. Please don't ever undercut yourself, all right? Give yourself credit. And the identity is not determined by how fast we play, how many scales we know, how expensive our equipment is. Equipment is great. We love it. Whether we perform professionally, how many people follow us. Doesn't matter if you have a YouTube. None of that matters. You don't need permission, a record contract, or a certain skill level to consider yourself a musician. Just the guitar becomes part of how we see ourselves. You are a guitar player. You are a musician. And sometimes part of how other people know us. You know, if somebody sees you playing the guitar, somebody that doesn't play, to them, you're a guitar player. So you need to call yourself a guitar player now and forever, okay? Just keep working on those rhythm chops and triads, all right? Check out the triad book. Shameless plug there. All right, you guys that know. So guitar connects us to other people. So we can talk about the social side of things. I've talked about this, playing in a band. In fact, I just shot some footage and put out a video of me, Fritz, and Bernadette. That's the husband and wife bassist and drummer that I'm doing. We're doing Message in a Bottle by the Police, and I'm shooting all the behind the scenes stuff. And it's just so you guys can see the struggle and what we go through and what it actually looks like. You don't know if you've never been there, but jamming with friends, right? Teaching someone a chord. Isn't it a beautiful thing when you know enough, when you can teach somebody who's coming up? That's a beautiful thing. We have to keep teaching each other to keep passing down that knowledge. Learning from another musician, that's an amazing. I still learn from all you guys. I learn so much every single time I make a video for you, because I got to really check myself down. And I'm human. Sometimes I screw things up. You guys can call me out on it, you know. When I mess up in a video, I usually call it jazz. But I try and keep that authenticity in there and that connection so you guys can see this is what it looks like. It connects us to other people and we get to share music with our family. Now, be prepared. I'm going to warn you. You're going to get asked to do some holiday songs. You're going to be free family entertainment for years to come. But set out a tip jar regardless. Maybe your Uncle Jack or Aunt Jackie will throw some money in there for you. If you have an uncle and aunt that Jackie and Jack. Anyways. Playing a song that brings back a memory. Maybe it's a memory of a band or an artist. So maybe you learn a song. Or you find a community of people who understand that obsession. Really, finding a community of people who understand obsession is the definition of what YouTube's all about. All I care about is this community, all of us. Everyone in here, we're all just as important. We're learning this together. That's probably the most important thing in this world is being a part of some kind of community. Like, I don't know if you saw my post the other day, I bought a motocross bike. It's not going to be here until December, but I'm going to be really excited to be part of that community. And I drew the parallel of how a motocross bike and guitar are a lot the same. It's a rhythmic flow. It's very similar, but community, right? So that's why I put out that message in a bottle session, put it out this morning. And you should check it out because I show how we got the bass and drums tracked. I showed the Pro Tools session. So this is all about connecting why I play guitar, to play with other people, to play in a band. It goes back to my point of why I even play the guitar. So check that out. Let me know what you think. But again, when you play music with other people, you learn how to listen better, how to react better, how to trust one another, how to adjust in real time, how to create one groove together. That's an amazing thing. So playing together is a conversation. Nobody should be delivering a speech while everyone else waits. And that'll make you a better player by yourself too, right? So sometimes we play guitar because music allows us to connect with the people in a way that ordinary conversation cannot. And it's actually an amazing skill set you get when you actually play music with other people. Maybe that's why you want to play guitar like me. The guitar was just a tool to play in a band. That's just a tool I chose because, loved. I can still picture in my head, and I'm sure, drop in the comments if you've a photo of an artist that you were just so, how you're so influenced by the younger self. And for me, it was a picture of Dave Navarro when he was in Jane's Addiction. He had his dreads and he had the black fingernails. I remember he had no shirt on. He just looked like the coolest person on earth, and he was playing guitar. But it really resonated with me, the guitar and their music. But again, maybe name an artist that inspired you like that. Do you remember any specific picture or song or moment? That'd be really cool for you to drop in the comments. Here's another idea. Guitar gives us a lifetime of discovery. Really, everything in this world is about discovery. Right? So there's always something else to uncover. That's the beauty of it. I sit here and I still play a ton. I've been playing 35 plus years, a lot at a high level, and I still play a ton every day because I just want to keep finding new sounds, different rhythmic feels, a better way to phrase one note, a connection between a scale and a triad, and maybe how can I bring in this chord. I remember when I talked about connecting, not collecting, going deeper with simpler concepts. Maybe a song we couldn't play, like this Message in a Bottle song. Listen, tackling a Police song is no easy feat. And Message in a Bottle, that I don't know if you've ever played that riff that Andy Summers plays, but it is ridiculous. So you're going to get to see me. My next video is going to be me trying up. I will pull it off, track the guitar parts and record them. So a sound hidden inside something familiar. So this really connects strongly to my kind of core philosophy. This doesn't mean we need to endlessly collect more information. I say it all the time. That should be a t-shirt, okay? Connect, don't collect. Some of the greatest discoveries come from going deeper into what we already know. You guys, simplicity, it always works. It always has, it always will, right? We don't need to overcomplicate things. But go deeper, even on complicated concepts, and break them down and then put them all back together in your unique way. Connect the dots. So remember how I talked about, if we think about a G, C, D chord, let's just think of the open chords. And this is Guitar 101, beginner player. Open G, C, D. So we could actually use a lifetime to explore that, the rhythm, how to play it different rhythmically, the dynamics, all the triad versions of that we could play, the inverted triads, voice leading, different melodies, how those fit into scales, different keys, how could we improvise those, different tones, how could we leave space, right? The guitar remains interesting not because we can never collect everything, but because we can never exhaust the musical possibilities, right? That inside even the simplest things. So that's kind of why I started that. That is why, because I showed my mom this and she's still kind of getting her guitar chops. But I did that beginner playlist where it's simple concepts, but we go real deep. And that's really what you should do, even if you're at the highest level, playing the musical player level. All right, so another idea, how we lose sight of why we play. So sometimes we can be consumed by comparing ourselves with better players, and it's so easy to do that in this world with all the social media, but think about all the crazy things where people have been exposed. They're trying to be perfect, and there's no perfection in music, and it's all coming out, and man, they're really regretting that. And you're chasing speed or obsessing over gear or measuring everything through views and likes if you're on some kind of social media platform. You're learning material you don't actually enjoy. Don't put any bandwidth into something you don't care about, that doesn't drive you, you're not passionate about. It's okay. You feel guilty when you don't practice. It's okay to take a couple days off, whatever. Take a week off, regroup. I get it. So don't feel bad about that. Treating music like a competition. It is never a competition. Here's the only competition. It's you against yourself. That's it. It's, will you show up today? Will you put in the reps? Will you build your musical systems? Okay. This is why we play guitar, because we want to grow. We want to progress. We want to become the best version of ourselves. But a lot of these things are how we lose sight of why we play. You're believing that every session must produce measurable improvement. It's okay. Maybe that day your progress isn't even something you feel like you can measure, that you don't feel. But I guarantee you, if you picked it up, maybe you just maintained a certain level. I would say that too. Once you get something, you don't stop practicing that. You got to keep your chops. And even the best players will tell you that. They may tackle a really complicated piece, but if they don't play that for a year, they're not going to be as fluid or rhythmic. They're not going to flow as well. So again, for content creators, for example, just throwing example, guitar can become work. Every idea can start feeling like it needs to become a lesson, a video, a thumbnail, a product, a performance. Now, I could probably use myself as an example for this. I play guitar because I love it. I freaking love it more than anything in this world besides, humans, my family and friends. But you know what I mean? I come back to it every day because it's so challenging, and I'm always going to push myself to be the best version of myself. And anything I can share with you on this channel that inspires you or that was never taught to me, that's why I do it, right? So at any time there's something I'm like, like when I made that triads book, I'm like, this is going to help people love the guitar and have so much fun and connect everything on a deeper level. That's when I do things. I'm never going to really chase views on here, or if a video bombs, YouTube's hard. It's like guitar, excuse me. You got to just keep going, right? So sometimes the more serious we become about guitar, the easier it is to forget how to simply play, right? So goals are not the problem. Improving is not the problem. The problem begins when improvement completely replaces enjoyment. You got to have fun. All right, here's an idea we can talk about. What does play actually mean? So we can just spend a few minutes on this idea. We don't say we operate the guitar, even though I use that word here. We don't say we don't complete the guitar. We play it, right? Playing involves curiosity, experimentation, movement, imagination, freedom, mistakes, discovery, joy, pain, right? So when was the last time you picked up the guitar without an assignment, a practice plan, or something to prove, okay? So I'll encourage you always to keep building your musical systems, but yeah, play a favorite song, improvise badly and enjoy it. Listen, we could get stuck in our comfort zone for 50 years and never progress, and that's fine, but please don't do that. Challenge yourself, make noise, revisit that first riff you learned and see how you can take that deeper. Play along with a record, jam with another person, get a looper pedal, jam with yourself. Explore one chord with no destination. So you got to keep fun in there always. Fun, 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 right? Not every minute with the guitar needs to be productive. Some of it should simply be alive. Like, have fun with it. All right. Stay curious, always explore, have fun. So that's the most important. Like, if you don't have fun, you're going to quit no matter what level you're on. And that makes me sad too. So here's another couple more ideas and we'll close this out. So why do you play now? Okay. So let's talk about that. Kind of wrap it up. So I want you to think about how your reason may have changed. Now, I don't know how long you've been playing, but drop in the comments how long you've been playing. 0 to 5 years, 5 to 10, 15 to 20, 25 plus, 30 plus, 40. I'd love to know. Like, maybe you started when you were younger because you wanted to be famous. You wanted to impress your friends. You wanted to sound like your heroes, right? And that's fine too. But now maybe you play because it keeps your mind active. It brings peace. It's the best part of your day, aside from your friends and family. It connects you to your younger self. It gives structure to your day. It creates friendships because you're playing with others. It helps you express emotion. It reminds you that you can still grow, right? There's always more to learn. Maybe you want to go out and play music to bring enjoyment to other people, by yourself or in a band. So maybe the guitar, some of the roles the guitar has played in your life: student, you've been a performer, a teacher, a songwriter. Maybe you're a recording musician, a content creator, a collaborator, a lifelong learner. Maybe you're a combination of many of those. So the guitar may stay the same, but what we need from it changes. But I think one thing that will never change is the need to keep exploring, keep having fun, and keep becoming the best version of who we can be, right? And that's all we're trying to do. So keep putting in those reps. All right, so to kind of close this off, we start playing guitar for all kinds of reasons. And again, I want to hear yours in the comments. As long as your dishes and laundry are done, maybe you mowed your lawn. Maybe we want to play a particular song. Maybe we want to be like one of our heroes. Maybe we just think it looks cool. But if we stay with it long enough, the guitar becomes much more than the reason we originally picked it up, right? It becomes a voice. It becomes a challenge. It becomes a refuge. It becomes a connection to other people, and it becomes a part of who we are. We are musicians. We are guitar players, right? Yes, we should work on our rhythm. We should work on our triads. We should connect the fretboard, train our ears, right? And keep becoming better players, right? But those things are not the final destination. They're the tools that allow us to make music that means something. And remember, I'm always going to say, make music, make music. We're making music. Every little tiny thing you play is like a little tiny song. You're making music, right? Having fun. If nobody ever watched, liked, judged, or applauded, would you still play guitar? If your answer is yes, then maybe that is where the real music begins, all right? So I'd love to hear your answer in the comments, guys. Why did you start playing guitar? Why do you play guitar today? I've seen a lot of you come on the channel too. You're like, I used to play guitar, but I'm thinking of playing again. So if that's you, pick that guitar up. Let's just get this thing rolling. I'm going to be here to help you every step of the way. I'm going to be here to help you have the most fun, all right? So keep learning, keep listening, and most importantly, never forget to play. Put in those reps, all right? So drop jellyfish. There they are, jellyfish. Or your favorite sea creature in the comments. And where in the world are you playing guitar? I love hearing that too. So remember, we're just an amazing community of learners trying to get better at this crazy guitar thing. And I'm here to help you every step of the way. And I'm just like you. I want to be better too. So I'll see you in the next podcast. Thanks for listening, and I will see you later. Peace.